Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who always screams, "Don't turn your back on me." It's Norbert Morvan.
La Luna del Cacciatore. Brava. That guy's a smoke show. I had to really. But that's the day I realized, you know what? Men can be handsome. And I'm okay with saying that. That guy's a smoke show, bro. He comes out with the accent and
Yeah.
the archaeology skills, and he can read ancient Cambodian for Christ's sakes.
My favorite thing about Professor
Mm.
Sebastian De Rosa is that he's like, I don't know if I can get this word for word. And then he reads it word for word perfectly.
Exactly.
That's like, that might be he, that's a flex right there. Like, I don't know if I can,
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if it's word for word. And then all of a sudden you just nail everything. And people are like, oh, wow.
Word, man.
That was impressive.
Word, man. That man knows the passive tense in ancient Cambodian. Who taught you to translate? It says, we're chosen. And I'm just like, look, dude, can we just have a cup of coffee together, man? That's all. I just want to talk. That's
Let's
all.
just go look for Pepsi caps and chat. So here,
Brava.
there's two. I want to get three things out of the way real quick, Norbert.
Let's
One,
knock them out.
I love Paul W.S. Anderson. I have covered the entire. So yeah, I've written about him for Rotten Tomatoes. I wrote as far as lists go, I wrote an incredibly long list about the 20th anniversary of Mortal Kombat, 25th anniversary of Mortal Kombat, and why Paul W.S. Anderson's been crushing it for 28 years. I love him,
28.
and then I wrote about Event Horizon as well. I love Paul W.S. I've listened to all of his commentaries. He's one of the few directors out there that will include a commentary like Rennie Harlan with all of his films, and he explains everything. So with this one, he's like, "Yeah, man, like there's concept drawings from Alien that Ridley Scott worked on that showed a pyramid, and then they never shot it." So I was like, "Okay, well, I'm going to include a pyramid because that makes sense." But they made me shoot it on. I had to shoot it on Earth. That was one thing they told me I had to do. So then I was like, okay, well, they can't do it somewhere where there's a lot of people. And there was an incident in Antarctica that still hasn't been explained about all these lights that went off. It could be a nuclear explosion, alien. No one knows what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pyramid from Ridley Scott's drawings. I'm going to take this real life incident in Antarctica, and I'm going to be like, hey, they had a pyramid in Antarctica where they could hunt in privacy. So if the xenomorphs take over, we don't have to destroy the entire world. That's all. I love it. I love it. Okay. I love it. And also too, I mean, he decided on Sanaa Lathan a week before filming. Like it's awesome. Sanaa Lathan, loving basketball, Sanaa Lathan's the lead of Alien vs Predator. Mila
Yes.
Jovovich, the lead of all the Resident Evil films, Monster Hunter. Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill, lead of Event Horizon. Robin Shaw is the lead of Mortal Kombat. This is a guy
That's
who
right.
he thinks outside the box when he's casting. He's like he's so unpretentious it hurts. He's never given a big budget. This movie shot in 2.5 months, and they're like, go, 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 go. And then he had to edit it in 2 months. He knew that the editing was going to be so short, he couldn't have a ton of visual effects because that would take a lot longer. So this is a guy who people call him a vulgar auteur. People say that he's a hack. And I think that's all bullshit. Like I think this guy's been kicking around Hollywood for almost 30 years now, and he's made some very fun films. So
Mhm.
if you're this isn't an ironic hate ironically on this. I love Paul W. Anderson. I do.
Yeah. I,
Uh,
I unironically love him. I unreservedly love him. I get it. And you know why, ladies and gentlemen? Thousands of years ago, there was this thing called Hollywood. And yes, it has always been about making money with movies. But for a very brief period, there was this thing called the B movie. And the B movie is usually made by people who just want to make a goddamn movie. And they don't care really if you can see the boom microphone sometimes or if the sound drops out. These are people who enjoy the process of filmmaking, the art of creation. And sometimes the movies are trash, and sometimes you get a gem like this. This movie is ridiculous. Don't pull at any of the threads, it will fall apart. Sit down, crack open a cold one, and watch it. This is one of the last of the B movies. And I say it's a B movie, even though it's got what, like a $60 million budget?
mhm.
But this movie is not trying to be anything but exactly what it is: Alien versus Predator. And ladies and gentlemen, the first time you see the alien and the predator on the screen fighting each other, you will lose your shit. Because I did. I saw this in the theater. I was like, oh my God, look what he did. Unbelievable. And the human characters, perfectly cromulent. That's fine. You know, they're there. Like you said, they couldn't start the hunt without us. That's why they're in the movie.
Yep.
To be cattle, to be fodder. And Norbert appreciates it.
And listen, Grid, the xenomorph, is one of the most unheralded xenomorphs of Alien and Predator franchise history. Grid,
he's got personality for days without saying a word.
Two Yautja.
Yep.
And the only reason Grid goes down is because of a huge bomb. Like Grid frees the alien queen. Grid kills Celtic. Grid kills Chopper. I mean, and Grid also looks badass. Like just
badass.
You know, and I also love that Colin Salmon gets Colin Salmon twice in this. And so he gets Colin Salmon in Resident Evil when he gets cubed.
The cube. When
he
gets cubed.
From the movie Cube. Listen to that episode. And then he gets cubed again in Resident Evil. Or no, I'm sorry, in Alien vs. Predator.
Alien vs. Predator.
But Grid gets like a metal net shot on it, but it's acid blood just burns the netting or the steel wire. And then for the rest of the movie, Grid has like a grid pattern on it, and it's just lighting people up. Its tail is impossibly long. I think its tail at one point is about 30 feet. Don't think about it. Shut up. But Grid is a legit badass. That fight, that Grid gets his tail cut off and it's like, yo, I'm just gonna throw acid at your face. Like,
I'm gonna fling acid in your mouth. Deal with it.
And then you know what's crazy too? You know, Grid, you know those like really, you know, in high school football, those really beefy linemen that haven't gotten like ripped yet in the NFL or college. That's what these Yautja are. Yeah, that these Yautja are husky. So this Grid is taking on burly teenage Yautja and just lighting them up. So Grid is awesome. I love me some Grid.
Yep. The one Yautja, he just I got him now. I got him in the net. I'm just gonna pull out my little knife here, and I'm gonna cut off a finger, and I'm gonna glam myself up with some scars, baby. Because this guy's oh my God, he's free. That's awesome. That was awesome. And then Grid gets his little celebration moment on top of a mountain of skulls and a dead Yautja. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you paid for. That's what you paid for. That glamour shot right there. It's just a beautiful looking. It looks great, especially when you put it next to the sequel where it's literally too dark to see anything. This movie, every shot is clear. You give Paul W.S. Anderson credit because at the end, the fight with Sanaa and the last Yautja and the queen is literally bigger than a house.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Well, it makes sense, right? Because the aliens get smarter. The aliens are smarter than aliens because they've been around longer. They've been around for a little while because the other aliens in the films are kind of dumb because they're so new. This alien queen's been alive for who the hell knows how long.
Centuries.
So it's a house.
At least centuries.
Yeah. So this alien queen is a house. So it makes sense that it's gigantic. And man, this movie. And also one thing that Paul W.S. Anderson never gets credit for, which I hate so much. In Mortal Kombat, he's not afraid to go for a wide shot and have the actors throw 4 or 5 strikes. In the final fight with Shang Tsung and Liu Kang, there's an overhead shot where they legit throw 14 strikes in a row, blocking it perfectly, looking amazing. In Death Race, they're blowing up cars. In the Resident Evil movies, they went to slow-mo, but he was never afraid of a wide shot. This film, the Yautja grabs Grid by the tail and starts spinning it in circles. You cut to a wide shot and its head just starts smashing into concrete barriers. It's fun. You know,
it does leave you speechless, man, because he went for it. This is Alien versus Predator. You got it.
And let me tell you something. The thing about Alien versus Predator is great movies. So you watch a great film. You watch Aliens. You're so high. You're like, oh my gosh. You've seen it 50 times, but you're like, oh, here's a scene. And like, it's almost a stressful viewing experience. I don't think I could just put on Aliens and watch it with mindlessly because I'm so like pumped into it. I'm like, just jumping all over the place. Alien versus Predator, perfect cable movie. The first
Oh,
40 minutes,
100%.
first 40 minutes, really, it's just getting to know the characters like Predator. So Paul W. Anderson's like, yeah, Predator, you only see it to an hour in, and Aliens is 57 minutes. Like he's like, yeah, you wait. They all have to get to the pyramid. So you can go in and out. It's like it's not a great film, but no one expected that, right? You don't give Paul
Yeah.
W. Anderson a couple months to make a movie and be like, we got Mad Max Fury Road, baby. That doesn't happen. So this is a perfect cable movie. This is a movie where you can just watch it and eat popcorn. It's comfort food. Comfort food isn't filet mignon. Comfort food
No, it's
is
not.
is like stuff that makes you comfortable, cheaper things, snacks, stuff like that. So this is a perfect comfort food movie. This isn't a filet mignon. This is a bag of salty chips at midnight when you've been on a set for 12 hours, if that makes
That's
sense.
it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly right. And we know that 20th Century Fox will literally try to squeeze blood out of a stone. So this movie has been in development since 1990 when
Yeah.
our minds were blown by seeing Danny Glover enter the Yautja ship and looking at the wall of trophies, and there was an alien skull. Everyone in the theater goes, "Oh my God, is this happening? Is this happening? Is this happening?" Since 1990. This movie didn't come out until 2004. This has always been something that they want to do. And at first, James Cameron, it's like Frankenstein versus Wolfman. It's not great. James Cameron sees it. This is the top three. This is the top three in the
He likes
series.
it. He likes this movie because
And it
James
is.
James
Yeah,
Cameron came from B movies.
that's
He
right.
knows this. Quentin Tarantino loves Three Musketeers. Like there's
Oh, for sure.
Paul W.S. Anderson has fans out there,
For sure.
big directors.
For sure.
James Cameron and Tarantino like his movies. They just know
Yeah.
him. But I think, for lack of a better term, film snobs watch his movie. Oh, he's a hack. He's a hack. Like, no, guys, no, no, stop it.
All right. See,
Sorry.
go ahead. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
No, but we were talking about this, Norbert. Hey, is it going to be in space? Is it going to be based on this? Is it going to be based on that? And oh, I got a script. It's going to be in space. No, I want it on Earth. And everyone's like, oh crap.
That's it.
So then they kept trying to rewrite it. And then Paul W. Anderson, I think he's hot off Resident Evil, and he's like, hey guys, I got an idea. You want it on Earth? Let's just put it in a pyramid because there's some of that from Ridley Scott's thing. We'll introduce some humans and like, yeah, let's send them out. Like, let's put them there, and then
Now,
they fight in Antarctica.
okay. Now, the cynical Norbert likes your story where he gets this burst of inspiration from looking at drawings that Ridley Scott had, right? But the cynical Norbert realizes actually Mark Verheiden and the guys at Dark Horse, they rebooted Alien into one of the greatest franchises in comic books and of licensed product, because licensed comic books used to suck. If you saw the comic book version of something on TV, you immediately passed that by. Aliens Book One by Mark Verheiden. Yes, that's one
Was,
of the characters' names in this movie.
was there
They
a
gave him a
pyramid?
little shout out. No, not at
Oh,
all. So, what ends up happening is Mark Verheiden's work with Alien Book One leads to Book Two, Book Three, and it's basically just the foundation for Dark Horse Comics to really launch into different series. Alien versus Predator comes out. Alien versus Predator is absolutely better than most of the Alien movies after Aliens. The comics, the way that they would have been. You got Machiko Noguchi on a planet where they're basically farmers. And you get this same kind of premise. Oh, this has been a planet that the predators have been using forever for hunting. It's just that humans have now settled on it. And then, horror ensues when they run into each other. So you have the story of he's got this great inspiration. And I realize, oh, snap, Fox just doesn't want to split the money with Dark Horse
of course they don't.
because that movie would have been insane. And on top of that, James Cameron showed you with $15 million, you get Hadley's Hope. Hadley's Hope is way more complicated than the ranch that that Machiko Noguchi is in the comic books, And that story has her also realizing the enemy of my enemy is my friend, not in those exact words, but she's like, okay, these aliens are insane, but these big tooth dudes, they seem kind of normal in comparison. And so I'm going to join up with them. And at the end of the movie, unlike the end of this movie, they take her on the ship after they brand her. And then she just rolls with them on like insane space adventures.
Dumb question. A lot of people were pissed that Sanaa Lathan got marked, but that happened in the comics.
Yeah, so it did.
So
yeah,
they're pissed. But I mean, at the end of Predator 2, all the aliens are like, yo, dude, good work, man.
Respect.
respect.
Respect. Take this hammer. Yeah.
That's insane that they're like, oh, they team up. Why would they not team up? That's the dumbest. Yeah.
I mean, obviously the Predators are at least as smart as humans because they have massive shoulder cannons.
I mean, they have warp travel and like scouting.
You know what I'm saying?
They can kidnap people from all over the world, put them in pods, and parachute them onto a planet. Like they got.
We found that out later. That's right.
They figured it out, Norbert. They figured it out.
Yeah, and Sanaa Lathan puts together 1 + 1 to equal. Okay, this guy's smart because if I just give her and Sebastian, after Sebastian finally translates the story thousands of years ago, perfectly. That's right. Let me see if I can translate thousands of years ago. Once they realize, okay, these things have been hunting these things for millennia, and on top of that, they just want to hunt the toughest things in the galaxy. So we give them the plasma caster. He won't kill us. And then she rightly freaks out because she's literally the last human left alive. And, okay, enemy of my enemies, my friend. It is logical. The movie, sure. Why the hell do we need an ice expert if we're literally just walking from point A to point B? We're not climbing a mountain. She's a mountain climber and an environment. Why do we need her? You know,
and she doesn't understand. She doesn't hear helicopters, by the way.
Right. Wayland's a trillionaire for all intents and purposes. Okay. All he needs to do is bring all of the blankets. It's cold. We need to walk straight. It's cold. We're not even climbing a mountain. We're going down into a cave. Mountain climbing cave, is that the same thing? We don't actually need her. But you know what? Don't pull at that thread. Again, it's not that serious. Because then you'll be caught up in the vertical limit world of, are you good? Yeah. So is that good? What does it mean to be good at mountain climbing? You don't fall off, to me.
I mean,
what does it mean?
Listen, if I'm doing a rock climbing like mission for a pyramid, I'm going to hire the best rock climbers money can buy, just because they know maybe the best path, or they won't murder me before I get up there. If that makes sense. Like, I'm a trillionaire. Who's the best? Do we need them? I don't know.
Bro, you need to be strong and warm with slightly above average cardio. That's what you need. What is all the you need 3 weeks of training for what, Alexa? For what? It's cold. Don't take off your gloves. Okay? Don't be alone. All right, let's go. Sounds like a plan. And that's not to crap on Sanaa Lathan, of course. It's just, again, don't pull at the threads of this movie if you think too much. Yeah, it falls apart.
Yeah. So you know those movies where someone pulls a thread on someone's suit and then the arm falls off?
The arm falls off.
If you did that on this movie, the entire outfit falls off. Like it's
if they had to climb a mountain to get to the aliens, I would be like, okay, we need her.
Yeah.
But so anyway, yeah. I even forgot my original point because this has been on my mind forever. What makes a good mountain climber beyond you don't die? Like, what is the secret of mountain climbing?
You pace yourself. You know the good treads. You know where to walk. You know when it's too dangerous.
Okay.
Because most of the time when people get lost in places, it's because they just did something dumb.
Right.
So if you have someone smart, you still might do something dumb, but the odds of that are less.
Okay. And these people, they literally keep ignoring the experts the whole time.
Yeah.
Touch them. Touch them. And Max Stafford just glares at him the whole time and snatches it with attitude.
Yeah.
Starting the chain of events that leads to all of their horrific deaths by chest burster. Good thing we brought the experts. Yeah, because this is like finding Moses' DVD player. They're like, okay, that's a solid burn. Solid burn, Miller. Good job.
I love me some Ewan Bremmer, even though the one thing that he has in the movie is kids and a camera.
Oh, that's how you know he's going to die badly.
Yeah.
That's how you know he's going to die badly. And they give him respect because he manages to get the leverage to pull out a Desert Eagle, which is a heavy handgun. He gets the leverage to pull a Desert Eagle and unloads a clip basically into the face hugger, and he feels good about it. And then, brilliant shot by W.S. Anderson. The zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Oh, there are 90,000 face huggers. This man is a wrap. That's a great scene. That's a great scene, man.
Because
It's a
he's
great
smart.
scene.
He
Yeah.
knows. Remember the scene in Resident Evil where she escapes one dog and then she runs
Yes.
into a room with 8 dogs, and it's so funny. You're just like, oh, it's the funniest scene. Also, Colin
It
Salmon
is.
ditches all the lasers, then one, like then the whole thing
Yo.
tubes him. Why didn't it just do it first? Who gives a shit? Like it's funny. Like I think he understands that. Like he knows a good shot. He knows how to
Yeah.
handle that.
It's an absurd situation. Just go with it.
I
Just go
mean,
with it,
I mean,
man.
listen, they're going to Antarctica where a giant laser shot a hole a mile into the ground.
Mm.
uh,
Mm.
Lex stays around because the other guys they're going to bring in kind of suck. They step
Yes.
on one rock and it sets off everything,
Right.
and then people just die. Horrifying, and then it becomes Cube essentially because the thing
It,
changes every 10 minutes.
that's right.
It
That's
really
right.
just don't worry about it, y'all. Just have
Enjoy
fun.
yourself.
And also
Enjoy
too,
yourself.
like when they made Predator, Arnold was cast. When they made Predator 2, they got Danny Glover. When they made Predators, they brought in a huge cast with an Academy Award winner. When they made Alien, I mean, there weren't too many big names. They had Tom Skerritt, but then when they made Aliens, they Sigourney's back, then Sigourney, then
First million
Sigourney.
dollars. Yep.
You know, when Prometheus and all those movies, you have Fassbender, huge name, Charlize Theron, Idris Elba. I like that. The core of this movie is Sanaa Lathan. I'm sorry, I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep going back to that. And
No,
like,
she's a great actress.
and
She's
but I
great.
love it. And like she looks great in it. And like she's not overly objectified, which is kind of like
No,
there's a few like butt shots, but that's she's in a full like parka, so it doesn't really matter. She's actually treated as a human in this film.
that's it.
And
That's right.
it's I know we're complimenting him for doing what's right, but it's I'm telling you, like this movie, listen, you can hate it because it's PG-13, you can hate it because of the blood, you don't like that they team up. It's still fun. And
Yeah.
the biggest problem with the Alien versus Predator movie is it has to be isolated. So you have to get
Yeah.
humans there somehow. It can't just be
Right.
like, they you can't just have aliens versus predators fighting in the city with xenomorphs.
You
I don't know.
can't. You can't. The reason being because the speed that these things reproduce, if you just follow the movie logic alone,
Yeah, it's chaos. You're dead.
it's
And
the end of the country.
like
Minimum.
they have to store a queen somewhere. They can't, they can't have it in Van Nuys. Like they can't put it in San Francisco. It can't be in Quebec. It they need it somewhere frozen. So like Antarctica, and then oh well,
Hostile.
there's a thing back there, and then it's really hard to get to, so people probably won't come bother it. And then every
Yeah.
100 years, we'll just shoot a hole in the ice. So it's like like okay, so we got humans there, but then you have to get humans in. Then you have to get humans face huggered. Then you have to get chest
Yeah.
bursters pumping from them, and then they're chest bursters. Then there's Xenos. So like this movie takes a while to get going, but you have to move certain chess pieces to get the Xenom. The main problem with Xenomorphs is they they're awesome and they can murder people, but to respawn, you do need to you need time to create them in movies. So
Yeah,
it's
and not much. It's been
yeah,
established that they just burst out whenever they need to, and they grow up as fast as the plot needs, and no one has ever questioned
they have
it.
30-foot long tails. But I guess what I'm saying
Yeah,
about
why?
AVP, it kind of messes you up because like, okay, where would they have aliens? Okay, what do they have? A queen alien. Well, they can't just leave her alive. Okay, so they freeze her. Okay, where can they freeze her? Antarctica. Okay, so we got to get a
Animal
team.
cruelty. Yep.
Yeah, we got to get a team out to Antarctica. Okay, then we got to get them in there. Okay, but then they have to go into this pyramid, and then they have to click buttons, and then they have to get stuck. So it's asking a lot for like if they just threw you into a world where they were already fighting, I think that would be really interesting. But they didn't want that. They wanted it on Earth. So then you're kind of, I think at its core, this movie's a little. The problem with Alien vs Predators, you got to create xenomorphs. That means there need to be face huggers. That needs to be a queen
Yeah,
alien.
yeah, yeah. And
Or
that's the problem with it being on Earth, which is why I'm very curious how this Josh Hawley series is going to pop off.
oh yeah.
Because the Josh Hawley is kind of taking the tack of the sequel, Requiem, where it's in a small townish,
Oh,
foresty
Noah
looking
Hawley.
place. Noah Hawley, thank you. Thank you.
I have to correct you. I was
The
like, who's Josh Hawley?
Yeah, thank you. No, I was wrong. You're right. Yeah. This is what happens. Aliens Book One by Mark Verheiden. By the end of that series, the aliens have taken over the Earth in like a year. Like they've taken the planet because they got out and they just start reproducing, and you can only track them so much because, like you say, when they have more time, they get smarter, so they adapt to the way that they're being hunted, and they end up just spreading out and just literally overwhelming people with numbers. If you watch, it not watch, there was a game that came out from Capcom, Aliens versus Predator in the arcade. It was a beat 'em up like Turtles. Came out in '94. That was going to be based on the movie that they were going to come out with.
Oh my
And that
gosh.
movie, you get two predators, you get a Japanese girl, and you get Dutch from Predator. And something happened in San Francisco. The aliens got loose and took over the town. And you got to go, you got to keep going to the right, beating up everything. And at the end, you fight the queen. And of course, Wayland Yutani's behind it all. And that game is awesome. You can
Idiots.
find it online somewhere.
They've always been dumb,
Yeah,
Wayland.
they're
Even
just
before Wayland
monsters.
Yutani.
Yeah, yeah, they're just monsters, man. They're just monsters. And definite shout out to the animal cruelty of freezing and unfreezing the alien queen and then electrocuting her to make the babies. That's just mean. That's just not nice. And the whole thing about putting them on Earth hamstrings them, like you say, which is why you do it in space.
Mm-hmm.
You do it
But
on
they didn't
the
want to pay
planet
Dark
Ryushi.
Horse.
I swear that has to be it. And it's not that I read that, but 1+1 = 2. And Fox is notoriously cheap. They've got the Simpsons cast doing voices until they almost can't speak. And it's going to season 40, ladies and gentlemen. And if you listen to Marge and Homer talk, they sound off. And it's still the original people. It's just they're like, please kill me. They won't let them stop.
They're frozen somewhere, just
They
recreating
have
it.
to. That's it. They unfreeze them and electrocute them. Okay, we're doing season 39. Let's go.
Oh man. And yeah, okay, so with the Alien versus Predator, I mean, you know what the one issue is, I think, with a lot of the Predator movies is in Predator, they're like, what's attacking us? In Predator 2, they're like, what's attacking us? In in Predators, like, why are we on this planet? What's attacking us?
Yeah, right.
I think every single one of the Predator movies is kind of like a who, like, what is happening here?
What
But then
is what is the deal? Yeah.
but then when you watch Alien, the first one is going like, what is this? But then the second one, Ripley's like, yo, y'all, stop. And the third one, she's like, oh man, there's another one. We got to kill it. And then the fourth one, she's like, yo, these things are bad. So I think that's like the luxury of the Alien films, because you just have Sigourney Weaver being like, listen, y'all, you gotta stop. Yeah, you gotta, this is bad. So I think like that's what Prometheus and maybe Covenant goes wrong with, because
Mm,
at least Prometheus, because like, what's happening? What's going on? And it never
mm,
give us answers. But I think in this one, it's kind of the same. There's no one, like, we know exactly what it's kind of a pain in the butt sometimes when you know exactly what they are, and then you have
yeah.
everyone trying to play catch up. But I mean, it's still great. The guy can really read stuff from 3,000
He
years
can.
ago.
He can,
And
and this, well, the whole thing is with this one, you get the trope of those Native Americans needed aliens to help them build stuff, unlike the Greeks who just decided to do it one day. So you get this guy. So we worship these things because, of course, that's an odd thing to say. At least the Prometheus dudes, they were being worshipped because they were just like giant shredded chads who came from outer space to be like Uko Klotos. They're like, cool. That's probably God. He's got black eyes. I'm gonna worship that. But these things, they're humanoid. Like, there's no way they ever took the face mask off to any of these people who were worshiping them, because they were like, "Oh, you're not God. Actually, you're a monster. I don't co-sign this at all." And so all of the little sci-fi tropes of the native cultures were taught how to make pyramids by these creatures. They were worshipped by them. There's ritual sacrifice. Ooh, how did Roanoke disappear? Well, apparently it was a Yautja colony that had to be destroyed. You know what I mean? We take care of all of those things because Fox is too cheap to pay Dark Horse
Yeah.
for the rights to the story.
What happened to Shackleton? You know?
You know, Yautja,
Yeah.
Yautja bomb, Yautja bomb,
Aztecs, Yautja.
Yautja bomb,
Incas,
Yautja bomb, Yautja bomb.
it wasn't,
Too many friggin' Xenos.
it wasn't plague or anything. Nope, Yautja bomb.
Yautja bomb. You know,
Yautja bomb.
and then and then there are so many hilarious little details in this movie. You get Waylon doing the knife trick with the pen.
Yep.
Shout out to aliens. You get these. This is supposed to be a massive Aztec Cambodian pyramid. Every 3 seconds, you hear through the walls. Like, is it made of paper? Is it? How do we hear all these sounds? And then tell me, you're a homeowner. Have you ever heard the sound of the wind sound like an alien queen screaming? Because I haven't. And these people are supposed to be experts and murderers across the world because they're all mercs.
Mm-hmm.
And your boy, Sebastian, he literally crawls around in ancient pyramids. Have you ever heard anything that sounds like the scream of an alien queen or just people dying and just be like, oh, it must have been the wind? Are you kidding me?
I hate when they say that too. Yeah, it was the wind. Bro, we're a mile down.
What wind are you talking about? You know, and I mean, you also go ahead.
It's just a silly movie, Norbert. I'm sorry. I'm just
Don't pull the threads. Don't pull the threads, folks.
Yeah, don't but one thing I do like is that I like that Anderson, and he even said this, like I would never effing dream of like offering insights into the mythology or origins. I like that they don't explain the origin of the xenomorph. They're just like, yeah, the predators found them one day and was like, hey, let's bring them to Earth and let's just do this here so we can have people to feed them to. Like, I like that
exactly.
He said that he doesn't. He said the movie is designed to be a sequel to the Predator movies and a prequel to the Alien movies. In no way does it contradict or go against anything in the Alien franchise, which I think
that's right.
And I like that though. I like that he doesn't go, yeah, like, oh yeah, well the xenomorphs were created by predators, and just no.
It's true.
So I don't think he's crapping on the franchise. I think you're right. Fox got greedy, and you know what I read? This movie had the shortest filming and shortest post-production schedule of any major studio film in 2004.
It doesn't look like it at all.
No, because it's Paul Anderson. So he had worked with Amalgamated Dynamics before on Mortal Kombat. They knew him. Mm-hmm. They do a commentary for this movie, and they all like Paul. Sanaa Lathan and Lance Henriksen do a commentary with Paul, and they're like, "This was great."
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Even Henriksen's been on set with so many people, but he's like, "Paul, you were great to work with, man. I loved working with you." And so now I was like, "This was awesome," and like the amalgamated, so I think, I know he's had some mistakes on the Resident Evil films with stunts, but I think the nice thing about Paul W.S. Anderson's like Rennie Harlan, just like, hey man, you got a month to make a movie. Just go to Greece and make a movie, and he can do it. And so he brought his cinematographer on this. So the cinematographer David Johnson shot Resident Evil. The production designer Richard Bridgeland, I think he had worked with before as well. So I mean, he brought in people. Richard Bridgeland also did Pandorum. That movie
underrated movie. That and Predators, by the way. These are two underrated films. So that movie's weird.
Oh, and he also did Resident Evil. So Paul W.S. Anderson's like, okay, I have no time. So Jeremy Bolt produces this. That's this guy. That's the producer for Paul W.S. Anderson. That dude makes it happen. And then he has the production designer of Resident Evil. He has the cinematographer of Resident Evil. He has a really Colin Salmon he had worked with before. So he's bringing back people he's worked with before. He has the same crew. I mean, they shipped him off they didn't make the movie in the United States. They made the movie in Bulgaria, I believe. No, Prague.
Cheap.
They shot in Prague.
Cheap.
Sorry, not Bulgaria.
Cheap. So they say cheap.
So they go to Prague, and he said it would have cost $20 million in Hollywood, but it cost $2 million in Prague. And so
there you go.
They're like, okay, just go build all the sets. You can have all the warehouses you want here. I think most of the budget just went to how fast they had to build everything. They probably had to work around the clock. There's a lot. The Alien Queen was incredibly expensive. They put so much money into that, and I don't know, man. I just think it's, I don't know. this is what I'm saying. You're not going to have a John McTiernan Predator. You're not going to have a Ridley Scott Alien. You're not going to have a Jim Cameron Aliens. You're going to get a movie that had a month-long prep time, some sets built
Hmm.
in Prague. It's finished a
Hmm.
couple months later. 2 months later, it's in the like edited, and then it's in the theaters. Like
That's it.
they didn't have time to look over the script a lot. I think during shooting, they can't be like, you know what, we should do a rewrite. No, this thing has so many holes in it, but I don't think when you're shooting this fast, you can sit on set and be like, hey, should we rewrite this scene? No,
Don't have time.
no. Can we get a lot of coverage? No.
No time.
Uh, yeah, no time. Just go. Just move.
Movies in theaters next week. Let's go.
I mean, and you know what's nice too is I was watching Star Trek Generations, and Niall and I talked about it. They spent 2 weeks on that stupid boat scene, and the shoot was only like 6 weeks. So the
That's
majority
funny.
of the movie is on that boat. So the rest of and it was so expensive that the rest of the movie had to suffer. That thing's completely unnecessary. Paul W.S. Anderson put all the money in the fights and the practical
That's it.
effects. And
That's it.
so, listen, I know it's corporate greed. It's very Wayland-esque. It's
It is.
PG-13. It's not as great as some of the greatest films ever made, which is a stupid argument, but
Well, Narf.
it's
Yeah.
still fun. And I don't know. It's fun. Like I like the Elder
Nah,
Predator.
man. It's a good movie, and I want to give the shout out to Sanaa Lathan for just dealing with Hollywood in general. Because if she was anybody else, she puts forth this effort. How the hell does she not get? This is the only action thing she's ever done.
Yeah, I
Looking at her
know.
filmography, that's absurd. There's no way, because right now you have uh the lady from Suicide Squad, Amanda Waller. Why am I
Well,
forgetting her
Viola
name?
Davis.
Viola Davis, thank you. She was just like, the hell with it. I'm going to be in an action movie. And I can't wait to see that because she's got guns. She's got actual handguns. She's got guns. Like her arms are shredded.
Yeah.
You know, we could have seen more Sanaa. Her acting is great in this movie. She's so great. And you get the barest hint of a romance between
Mm-hmm.
her and the smoke show Sebastian because they get along. They're both
Good
easy
looking.
on the
That's a good looking
eyes.
couple right there.
They're easy on the eyes. We couldn't get one, okay, for luck, smooch as we go into what is clearly going to be our horrific death by one of two alien species. Come on, man. Sanaa Lathan,
And
New
and
York, by the way.
and she's super proud she's super proud of this movie. I did some research, and she wrote that I think she wrote something really neat. She said when Paul did this, I think he had it in mind, and he so they were talking about having like a woman be the lead. And so she's like, when Paul did this, I think he had it in mind. He auditioned all races to set this apart and yet still carry on that tradition, which is great because it's a woman you would never expect a black woman to be the hero. Like
Mm.
so she loves this movie. Everything I've read from her, like she's done interviews just loving this film. Up until Us, this movie. So when I was writing this piece for Rotten Tomatoes, I learned that up until Us in 2019, AVP held the
Hmm.
record for the highest opening weekend for a movie led by a black woman.
Wow. Wow.
So from 2004,
Hollywood. Do better, Hollywood. Jesus Christ.
and listen, I know I shouldn't be giving props to Paul W.S. Anderson for doing what's right, but it's just so shitty when people like it feels weird giving people props. But here's a guy that people call a hack, but he's like, Mortal Kombat in '95. Aside from Brandon Lee, and what Zima in Rapid Fire, Mortal Kombat might
Mm.
have been the first time I ever saw like two Asian men fighting in a final fight in a major
Mm.
Hollywood production. So
Right.
like,
That was not a kung fu movie from China or
yeah, like
Taiwan or
Robin
Hong
Chow
Kong,
was the
right?
lead, and listen, I know this is weird. He did the right thing, but so many directors haven't. And so the fact that you sit there and you like crap on this guy, like I don't know, I just hate it. I really do. I just
No,
don't.
you should because here's the thing. Take a look at Paul W.S. Anderson's filmography. It's not long. Mortal Kombat's awesome. Event Horizon, awesome. Again,
Awesome.
don't pull a thread, but it's an awesome movie. Soldier, not terrible. I saw that in the theaters. Resident Evil, absurd. It's an absurd movie. Don't think about it too hard. Alien vs. Predator, we love this. Death Race, did you like that?
Yeah, it's fun. You know what I like? Things go boom in it.
There you go.
Like
There you go.
practical effects, and once again they're like, here's 45 million. Like this, I don't. Some directors they're like, hey, you made an indie, here's 200 million. Paul W. Anderson like, here's
Mhm.
45.
Yeah. And he makes it look good. You
Mm-hmm.
know, He's not the Earth's greatest director, but he is the last B movie director, ladies and gentlemen. Except B movies today don't cost $250,000 anymore. And God help him for getting 40 million to make a random movie now. I guess he would have to go work for A24 or something like that.
Yeah, but they're
You know
just
what I
too
mean?
cool. They're too cool for him. But
Mm.
I don't, like I think one of my like Pompeii. I remember watching that and just feeling like I was on another planet watching that film because it's insane.
It's so weird, Bo.
But
It's so weird.
but like the Three Musketeers, that's a fun movie. Resident Evil Afterlife, he uses James Cameron was like, hey man, here's my 3D tech that I used on Avatar. Go shoot a Resident Evil movie. And there's a lot of slow-mo, but there's some badass fights in it. Like, while watching Resident Evil Afterlife, I'm just watching Mila Jovovich and Ali Larter be the heroes in it. And like that was cool. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
And then Resident Evil Retribution, that movie's nuts. But it features some like they're like, hey, let's bring back Michelle Rodriguez. Who cares? Like, let's bring her back and let's
Why
have an
not?
awesome underwater
Why not?
zombie swimming scene. I don't know,
Why
man.
not?
And also Soldier. You know what's interesting about Soldier? They were going to shoot that movie, but then Kurt Russell goes, "I need a year to get in shape." So during that year, El Nino happened, which wiped out where they were going to go shoot on location, but it completely wiped it out. So then they're like, okay, well, I guess we got to shoot in LA. So then they built it all on sound stages because like everything fell through. And then Kurt Russell breaks his ankle. So it's like,
Oh,
I don't blame Soldier on Anderson on that one. And so I just think, I don't know. And like Mortal Kombat, people are like the fights are bad. I don't know what people are.
who says the fights are bad? I
So
never heard that in my life.
this is what I hate. I think people just have this thing about him, but they don't even look at his filmography or his casting or the cool shots. They just want to hate on him. It's like Deep Blue Sea. For years, everyone's like, Deep Blue Sea sucks. His VFX are bad. Bro, that's like 30 seconds of the movie. The movie rules. Like,
That's insane.
I don't
That
like it
movie
when
rules.
narratives are created and people don't even look into something. Does that make sense? Like, this guy sucks, so I'm not even going to appreciate what he does. And then there's people out,
100%.
and then people call him a vulgar auteur. And I think that's such a backhanded way of talking about him, and I don't like it. And listen, when you listen to as many commentaries as I do, you respect the directors who actually put work into their films. So Resident Evil: The Final Chapter kind of sucks, though. I'm just gonna say it. John Levengood and I covered the franchise, and by the time we got to that one, we're like, nah.
Okay, for what it's worth, Norbert Morvan is not a huge fan of the Resident Evil series just because Capcom already made it insane, convoluted lore. You didn't have to do all of this, W.S. Anderson, but I got you. That's your wife. Get that money. I'm not even mad. You know what I'm saying?
And like that made over. I think that was the first franchise with a woman lead to make over $1 billion worldwide.
That those movies make bank.
And like Japan
Period.
and China, they crush. In Japan, they make
Yeah.
so much money.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
man, I know
I'm not mad at him.
I defend it, and this movie is far from perfect, but it was never going to be good. It was never going to be perfect. This is a movie cynically made, but you bring in a guy who clearly loves the world. You have cool special effects. Grid kicks some ass. Sanaa Lathan's awesome.
Yeah,
There's an
yeah.
elder predator.
Sanaa Lathan stabs a drone, blasts a drone, stabs the alien queen in the jugular. Sanaa Lathan is kicking ass throughout this entire movie. All right. She spends the last 30 minutes barely using any dialogue. It's all face, it's all silent communication with the predator. The predator makes a joke trying to freak her out
Yeah.
with the tongue shooting out and like, he's like, funny. And they had so now she's got chemistry with a friggin' Yautja. You can't hate this. The last 30 minutes of this movie, the stakes are there, man. If these things get out, Earth is dead. And that was the tagline: no matter who wins, we lose. That was the tagline on a poster. This movie delivers exactly what you want it to deliver, man. Scar has so many great moments. You get little nods to the other movies in the series. Waylon gets killed off screen.
Don't turn
you
your back on me.
Yeah, you get the Billy scream, but with Waylon, you get the stupid dialogue. What did you say this room was called? Sacrificial chamber. Slow-mo face huggers. 8 shot.
Yeah.
Great shot. 6 face huggers. Everyone's gonna catch one in the mouth.
That lady with the hair. I'm not a fan of hers.
Really? I liked her, man.
Right.
weird tank girl edge.
I guess I liked her line about condoms. Like, you don't know if you'll need them, but they're good to have around.
I live my life by that.
Like, Tommy Flanagan's down there yelling, Colin Salmon's getting Colin Salmon. It's
Yeah.
and like, the whale bones are playing a thing, and that it's just, I don't know how the alien queen got out, but that thing's just rampaging all over the place, and it's gonna,
Rampaging.
I'm surprised they haven't found it in that freezing water because it's technically still alive.
Thank you. Thank you. Technically, there was an alien queen in the Antarctic Sea, just lounging,
Global
waiting to be
warming
discovered.
just waits.
Oh, then we're doomed, because we've seen that the vacuum of space is just a fart in the wind to these things. So that thing will literally just walk until it lands on an island and just start making babies. And anything that's the size of a cat or larger can be impregnated by a face hugger. So we're just doomed. One day these things just start coming out of nowhere. Where the hell did these things come from? Well, thousands of years ago.
Well, I don't know if I can get this right, but let me read this. But yeah, I mean, I love that the Predator ship comes out at the end. I like that they just leave her in Antarctica.
Bruh, that question has never left my mind. Does she just walk back to the ship without a jacket?
Yeah, she'd die.
Because they make a point in the first 40 minutes of the movie saying, "Oh, well, if you ditch, you'll be dead in 3 minutes." Oh, it's such a dangerous place. I'm an expert. How are you just chilling outside without a jacket in Antarctica, sis? What is happening? But again,
you got to get down to that tank top.
you know what? Mystery Science Theater 3000 theme song. If you're wondering how Joel eats and breathes and other science facts, keep telling yourself it's just a show. I should really just relax.
Like, what's nice about this movie? You don't have to ask those questions because Paul's not really worried about it. It's like, just watch the
Paul
movie.
doesn't care.
Watch the movie. Just watch it.
Paul
Who
doesn't care.
cares? And you know what's annoying too? Like, so many of these movies are unbelievable, but then I draw the line at that. I draw the line at that.
Exactly.
Oh, I always find it
I
interesting.
like that.
I always find it interesting when people like, oh, well, that lady's like wet in $120. There's no way she could throw that dude. But then you just watched a movie where Dwayne Johnson picked up a 250-pound man with one hand and threw him through a roof.
One hand.
And he's a human.
Right.
But you're like,
Yes.
oh man, because he has muscles. But I'm like, comparatively, what he did is much more far-fetched than a 120-pound woman using leverage to take someone down. Like, but oh no, that lady can't do that. And you're like, oh.
It's all ridiculous, man. It's all ridiculous.
So
Let me ask you this question. Oh, go ahead.
No, I hate like when people, they let so many things go, but then one thing they're like, oh, I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
This is the world in which we live, man, where people literally get paid off of hating on things. It's so depressing. It's so depressing. So, two things.
Okay.
Right? First, you get the nod to Predator 2, where he's going to kill the woman. The Predator is going to kill the woman untrained, but sees she's pregnant and doesn't do it. You get the nod in this one when the Predator is like, dude, you have all the lung cancer. I'm not going to kill you. He does the scan and he gives Wayland a break because Wayland, his lungs are more cancer than lungs. And he's and that's when you get the classic, don't turn your back on me. Right?
Yep.
Right? So you see that the patience only extends so far. That's another great character moment, wordless. And then, riddle me this. If La Luna del Cacciatore is the hunter's moon, by the transitive property, does that make Chicken Cacciatore hunter's chicken?
Yes.
I thought of that. I've been thinking of that since 2004 in the movie theater.
And you just unleashed it.
It's been on my mind for 19 years.
We just exercised some demons. I love this.
There it is. The weight is off my shoulders. Also, Jeremy sucks because he's only got 2 seasons of ice time, which seems like a long time to me, but he sucks because only 2 seasons as opposed to what, 10? So now he looks at the ice. Oh, that ice is thin. That one's kind of thick. What makes you a good? I'm sorry. I don't want to go back into that. I'm going to watch Vertical Limit again. He's that good, huh?
You know what I love too? They actually went to an incredibly high location and built a literal ice wall that was about 18 feet and put Sanaa
Wow.
Lathan in negative 16 degrees on the side of it. And when she's climbing up, that's an actual stunt person climbing that. But they actually took her thousands of feet in the air, strapped her to a 16-foot wall for an exterior scene. That's not necessary at all.
But that's Paul, man. He wants the reality. He wants to see her face.
Yeah. And like he's great at that. It's like I like that she's up there. I don't know how the helicopter got up there. That's very dangerous and quite irresponsible. Or they've been there for hours. Who knows? But
Yeah, he was chilling. He was chilling there, son. He was chilling
you,
because she didn't hear. There was no sound of helicopter while she's climbing up this thing. Like you said, she doesn't know what the sound of a helicopter is. So he had been there for a while, and he just comes out. Hi, I'm calling Salmon. Would you like to come?
I'm about to
What?
get cubed. It'd be
Again?
funny if they went up there and he's just like, there's like a party. There's like him, like the pilot, a few ladies. We thought we'd have fun while we're waiting for you. I don't know. That's a dumb idea. And then
No,
they
man,
never
Max
talk about it
Stafford.
again.
Max Stafford, it's so weird because on the one hand, he's like Farnsworth Bentley for Puff Daddy. He does whatever he's told. And then on the other hand, one of our men is dead. I need to know what this man died for. Bro, because you're a mercenary. That's what he died for. He died for money. Don't suddenly realize that, oh, suddenly what's the meaning of things? You're a merc, bro. You're a
Yeah.
merc.
Yeah. I mean,
Relax.
and then be like, I get paid more now.
Yeah.
It doesn't work
exactly.
like that.
The pie. You don't inherit shares? That sucks. I quit.
You know what? Might get people killing each other then. Be like, listen, there's 5 of you, $100 million. One dies, 4 of you split the 100 million. You know someone's gonna actually bump off one of the person. So I'll be like, okay, there's 4 of you, 100 million. 5 of you, 100 million. If one of you dies, the pot goes down to 80 million. So like, I'm not
well,
gonna.
now you start shooting your friends. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't want people shooting their friends. Wait, so if I shoot you, we each get 5 million more. All right, see you later, Pete. Sorry. But listen, I'm telling you, they're like, all right, we need it on Earth. I guarantee you, Paul wrote this in a night. And then they went, you got it. And they went, oh, well, okay. And they made
Sweet.
it. Sweet.
Sweet. That's all you can do. Sweet.
Oh, great. Now I have to go make this. So I don't know, man. I was like listening to the commentary. They only had money for one flashlight on the set. They couldn't afford a lot of stuff because they put so much money towards the practical effects. And that's where like in the sets. So I think they didn't really have much. I don't know. I don't care. I've said this a billion times, and I do this whenever I talk about his movies. I like me some Paul W.S. I don't care. Get over yourself.
He's a good man. He's a good man.
And
He's a good man. And film wise,
this is not filet mignon. This is a cookie, a good cookie. What's your comfort food, Norbert?
Well, my comfort food is that block of cheese that comes from Costco. That's about a kilo. I have found myself, unfortunately, eating maybe 500 grams of cheese just in a sitting. I'm probably going to die horribly of some kind of heart disease. But it's been a good run because
you're
mild
comforted.
cheddar. Oh my God, that Kirkland cheese is crack to me, and I don't know why.
Oh man, I love me some Kirky cheese. I just like some granola with almond milk. That's kind of like if I ever want a snack, that's what I eat.
Well, that's why you're shredded and I'm a fat piece of crap.
No, man. So. Any final thoughts about Alien vs Predator? Because I just keep saying the same thing over and over.
That's no problem, man. Ladies and gentlemen, bottom line, whoever wins, we lose. Except if you're watching this movie, you win. This movie rules, man. It just does. It takes an hour to get to the alien and predator fighting each other, but those fights are amazing. You get to see a guy use a desert eagle on a face hugger and then die anyway. And you get massive explosions. And you have the best looking alien queen in the series. Not only that, you get dudes in suits.
Yeah.
There are dudes in suits. The queen at the end.
Junior.
Yeah, that's right. The queen at the end is a lot of CGI. When you get the full shots, it doesn't look fake. And anytime you get a close-up of these things, that's dudes in suits. That's puppetry. It looks really good. Plus, Dan O'Bannon and Ron Shusett, the guys who wrote Alien, they wrote this. Like, this is not a bad movie.
No.
It's a dumb movie, but it's not a bad movie. I watched this movie 4 times this week, and I've never gotten tired of it. It's just great, man.
You know what? I've listened to a lot of video essays about the movie, and everyone goes, I like this movie.
Period.
I this Chris Stuckman, a lot of people, they're like, you know what? I watched this again. It's ridiculous. Don't think about it, but I like this movie. So I think, and also one thing I want to say about Paul W.S. Anderson, I think the one thing he understands is where to put the money. And
Yes.
so, I don't think I've ever watched a Paul W.S. Anderson film and been like, I don't see the budget on screen. I think whenever I see
They
the
don't look
budget,
cheap.
whenever I see the budgets of his movies, I'm like, he did that with that. So I do appreciate that. And listen, that fight though, man, that fight where they're slamming their heads into things, like
It's
that
awesome.
delivers and it's great. And I love this movie. And I've also watched it twice and listened to 2 commentaries.
And remember, movie films and flicks, Spirit Animal, James Cameron, quote, it was actually pretty good. I think of the 5 Alien films, I'd rate it third. I actually liked it. I actually liked it a lot, unquote. That is James Cameron, ladies and gentlemen. Every other movie the guy makes is 2 billion box office. And he's one of the greatest directors ever. And his movies also have little sometimes. But he's God. And he just said this movie's good. Shut your mouth and watch it.
Yeah. Where can people find you, Norbert?
Norbert Morvan on SoundCloud, at Eddie Kane on Twitter. I made a website, norbert.wtf. Why not?
Listen to his music, y'all.
.wtf is great. It's weird. It's weird. I'm a weird man.
Yeah, but I love it. And
I love you.
Ditto. Love you too, man. All right. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Norbert Morvan, this is Movies Was a Flicks. We'll see you next week.